It's obviously very good news. Our fans have been, their patience has been tested. My patience has been tested. I think it's been a very, very stressful, frustrating journey. But the fact is that, we have obviously something to celebrate, obviously pending ratification, that we can have a season. It looks like it's going to be a full season, which is very important. The integrity of baseball and playing 162 games makes it a unique sport, and it's great to see that. It's great to see a lot of hard work went into what looks like it's going to be a completed deal. There was a lot of late nights, a lot of stress, a lot of brain power exercise to get to this place. I think you have to give credit to a lot of people in those rooms, to get to this point. Collective bargaining agreements are complicated. Baseball is complicated. These points that to many fans seem silly or esoteric have a lot of impact. And this is, an agreement that's going to be around for a while. So it's very important for both parties to be prudent, careful, deliberative. And unfortunately, sometimes it's messy, time-consuming, gets delayed. But the reality is, this is a very good milestone for us. And there's been a lot of consternation from our fans. We're hearing it. They have every right to be concerned and disappointed and depressed for the last several months as we're trying to navigate through something. And I can tell you from talking to fans that their passion for the Brewers, through good times, tough times, is there. I expected them to be very passionate about what was going on through this process. They have demonstrated that, but they have also stayed with us. The fans, the season seat holders who have bought tickets have stayed with us. We're excited to look like we're able to now launch with a full-scale selling season. We're still waiting for a word from MLB on the schedule and what that all means, and literally things like opening day, although based on what we see, I think we can sort of vector where we think we're going to be playing on opening day in Milwaukee, what date that's going to be. But again, a lot of details to be determined or figured out or communicated to the clubs, and I know that MLB, once this is ratified by the owners and players, will get that out there. And then our job is to then, as quickly as possible, communicate what the fans need to know, and then get excited for what we think is going to be a very special 2022 Brewer season.
How long do you think it's going to take to ratify this agreement? Obviously, once it is ratified, signings can begin. So I know there's a timetable here that obviously want to look at it, both the players and the owners want to take a look at this. But ideally, it sounds like you want to get this thing done tonight.
Yeah, I think that's the goal. We are obviously looking to, the goal is to get 162 games played in what is going to be a delayed start to the season. So every day is precious. And we want to give the players a meaningful spring training so that we can have games and they're game ready to start playing regular season games. So yeah, I think the ratification process is intended to happen very quickly. And I think everybody understands, we've got to this point. Let's bring it over the finish line officially, formally, and let's get the players traveling. Let's get them into camp, and let's get going.
You mentioned that's I'm sure when the first set of games get canceled, obviously it was a home series for the Brewers. How important to have those home games back with a full game schedule, coming up here?
Yeah, no, very important. I've read some reports that the teams didn't care about losing April games. That, from our perspective, that was the exact opposite. Every game is important to us. So it's great that what it looks like is happening is we're going to get 81 home games, and again, as I said before, the 162 game baseball season is long, but it means something. If you are winning your division after the end of 162 games or get a playoff spot, even in particularly an expanded season, that's a big accomplishment, and that separates baseball from other sports. So I really think it's important that we got those home games. Again, every home game is precious. And we're looking forward to, if we have to be a little nimble in terms of when those games are going to be rescheduled or how they're rescheduled, we'll pivot, we'll adapt. We'll make sure those games are meaningful, hopefully, for the team on the field and exciting for the fans. And, we're obviously working feverishly to come up with some really fun initiatives to the fans to frankly thank them for having gone through this journey, and appreciative of their loyalty, notwithstanding we've tested it. And it wasn't by design, but it was reality. We tested our fans this offseason. And it's been a test for our fans, frankly, the last few seasons. And our fans have delivered. The season ticket renewals that we've seen this offseason, even during the uncertainty, have been off the charts. And our ticket sales are strong. And even in an environment when we didn't know when the games were going to start or all the uncertainty, the fans want to see the Brewers, and they're showing it with their pocketbooks. And now our job is to deliver on that, and we've got some ideas that we're percolating, and we'll announce, not today obviously, but in the forthcoming days and weeks, about some of the things we're doing to recognize and cherish the fans, especially for what has been a difficult offseason for them.
Rick, you mentioned your frustrations, the organization's frustrations. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but was the number one thing or close to the top of the list just not knowing what to tell fans about tickets or getting reimbursements or when the schedule started or whatever? Was that the top thing, or was something else on your mind as far as?
No, all that. When fans are excited about the team and they're putting deposits down in season seats, or when sponsors are making commitments to partner with us and vendors are making commitments, we've got so many full-time, part-time employees whose some or all of their livelihood depends on playing games, whether it's in Phoenix or in Milwaukee. It weighed on me, and I know it weighed on everybody in our offices here. Especially after we've gone through the past few years, and the thought of missing games and people missing paychecks, the people that sell the beer here, the people that work the parking lots, the people that provide security, both here in Phoenix, for them to have the uncertainty about whether they're going to make money or get paid, that's a burden. And we felt it. And then you add that to the mix of our fans not knowing, making commitments. I had so many people tell me how they made plans for March to go to spring training, and that was in flux. People weren't sure what to do about the regular season. And, we didn't want to give false promises. I couldn't tell fans anything with certainty. And it was hard because you want to tell your fans something, but I couldn't because we just didn't know. This is not something where the major league clubs unilaterally could determine the pathway. This is an agreement that required the cooperation and hard bargaining from both sides. So I think what we told our fans is we hear you. We would love to give answers. We couldn't give answers, and that's tough. That's tough to do to your customers. It's tough to do to your employees. Tough to do to your partners. And again, it looks like, again, we're in a situation where pending ratification, we now have some clarity and some certainty, and that's the best news we can deliver to our fan base.
Rick, you talked about the fans. Were you in contact with any of the businesses in Milwaukee that heavily rely on the Brewers playing, whether it's just having fans come to their bars or even offering the shuttle services? They were really worried about losing out on these games and losing thousands, tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, we did not that long ago. The MMAC did an economic impact study that showed that the ballpark and the team have generated $2.5 billion incremental revenue to the state of Wisconsin since the ballpark was built. The team is playing here, so we understand the importance that we bring to the local community. And it's not just Milwaukee, it's statewide. We have a huge number of fans who come from all over: La Crosse, Eau Claire, Madison, Green Bay, Racine, Kenosha, all these places. Businesses rely that, thinking about it, like you said, the bar shuttles, the restaurants, the hotels. We have a lot of people coming from that state below us, and they spend money in hotels and restaurants, and people did have concerns, and we understand the relevance we bring to this community and economy. And again, it all weighed on us because we're talking jobs, right? We're talking livelihoods. We're talking people who rely on this team and this ballpark for income and for entertainment. And we couldn't promise that we were going to deliver, and that's a really hard thing for us to have to bear. And our fans and our partners and our vendors, it is incredible how special we have it here and how great our fans are. And I know everybody says that in every market, but if you think about what has happened in our industry in the last few years and how supportive the fans have been, we came out of a pandemic in 2020 with no fans. We lost a whole year of engagement with our fans. In 2021, we start reduced capacity, and then half the season goes by before we're at full capacity. fans show up, and they showed up in great numbers. And frankly, even in times when people were a little concerned about mass gatherings, they showed up, supported this team. Television ratings through the roof. Our attendance was top 10. Our partners, our sponsors fully supported us. People did not abandon us. They rallied around us. This year, we threw another test at them, somewhat of our own doing, but they supported us. I hope not to test them again, but I think the good news is with what looks like a 162-game season with normalcy, it's nice to say that. And I think, again, we're looking for some special things on the field, but this was a big milestone to get through, a big hurdle to overcome, and a lot of credit for a lot of people to put a lot of hard work into it, notwithstanding the intense glare of the spotlight from you fine folks, locally and nationally. And that's the spotlight baseball gets, and that's part of the thing. Baseball gets extra special treatment in good times and bad. If you look at other sports, I'm not sure that another labor situation got the kind of attention and scrutiny and passion that baseball gets. And to my mind, that's because baseball has a special import on this country and a special connection. Not denigrating the other sports, but when baseball sneezes, everybody catches a cold.
Guys, we have to get Rick on a big Zoom call here, so.
And just how soon can fans expect to see all this stuff firmed up? Schedule, pricing, I know obviously things haven't been ratified, and do you think that there's been a negative impact for the fan base of this whole thing of just being turned off to baseball?
Yeah, so we're going to expect to give information as soon as possible. MLB, we've been in touch with them. The Major League Baseball executives understand that we need to provide information about schedules, about everything. So that we expect that rapidly. Whether that's tomorrow, I'm not sure, but absolutely priority one is to provide complete clarity to our fans on what the schedule is, when the games are going to be played, so I can sell tickets for those games. The second part of your question, tested time. We have tested the patience of our fans. We have some fans that absolutely are passionate and upset. My job, and I think we'll be successful, is win those back. And the way we do it is by providing a great experience, providing a great team, listening to them, providing some initiatives that make it clear how much we care about them. I think that we'll be back. I'm expecting great fan support and a great season this year. Thank you.